Nzinga?
Hi.
Hey. Hi, everybody. You're joining us for Set Real Talk Tuesday. I'm Danisha Roll, and I have Nzingha Prescod joining us. She's an Olympic fencer. Welcome, Nzingha.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Guys, wanted to have Nzingha come on because we were talking about, representation and how it matters and being able to see, someone that may look like you or your kids that is doing big things. And Nzingha is doing big things in the sport of fencing. So Nzingha, where
Yes.
are you right now?
I'm at my apartment in Harlem.
She's in Harlem. Guys, Nzingha is from Brooklyn,
Yeah.
started fencing at 9. Tell us a little bit about how that happened, how you got your
Yeah.
start in fencing.
Yeah. So my mom always put me in a bunch of sports growing up. She just wanted to give me and my sister opportunities to grow, develop, meet new people, gain some skills. And she always thought sports was a good way to build discipline, and learn how to focus and be coachable. So by the time I got to fencing when I was 9, I'd already done fencing, gymnastics, tennis, swimming, softball, karate, all these sports, ballet forever. Um, and then she put me in fencing when I was 9. So I already knew my body and I was kind of aware of my body. I was athletic and I was like flexible, which is good for fencing. And she brought me to the Peter Westbrook Foundation where she heard there were a lot of Black Olympians being groomed by a guy named Peter Westbrook. So she brought this foundation, which is the Saturday morning program, where I now teach on Saturdays. And they basically gave me and my sister a scholarship to fence at the Fencers Club, which is like the elite private club. Um, so yeah, so that's how I got started. I started when I was 9, and what was cool was that like when I started was around the time that the Olympic coach came to coach at the Fencers Club. So I had a really good setup in terms of like coaching and also environment. I had people around me that looked like me who were going to the Olympics and training for the Olympics right in front of me. So I knew what it took and how much time and energy and effort and focus. And I knew the system. So yeah, it was a good situation for me.
Nice. So training, you talked about, guys, I had a moment just to speak with Nzingha and find out what was it about the sport of fencing that she really loved. And talking about, although it takes sacrifice, it's challenging and for you it's satisfying.
Yeah.
So what are some, tell our viewers, and if you guys are just tuning in, I have Nzingha Prescod joining us for Set Real Talk Tuesday. With fencing, it's a lot different. A lot of people are not familiar. I had no idea, the different types of fencing and really what it takes. But for you, what is it about the sport that just makes you love it?
I love that in fencing, it you can never be perfect. There's always a million variables that you'll have to recognize and then deal with. Your opponent can do anything. You can do anything. You can wake up and not be able to extend your arm or something. I don't know. That's never happened to me, but you can wake up and just not be feeling your attack that day, and you have to figure out how you're going to adapt, how you're going to change. So there's a lot of thinking on your feet, and being flexible, but also like digging into your toolbox and figuring out what is exactly needed for that specific opponent and what they're doing that day. Because you could offense that opponent at the last tournament, they're doing something completely different. So it's unpredictable like that, and also there's a lot of believing in yourself that is that contributes to your performance. So like if I don't believe my action is going to work, it's not going to work. I need to be fully committed to whatever I'm doing, and not hesitate. So and those are the days I fence my best. So that's a big part of it too, the mental component.
Yes. And guys, we know that's with anything, believing that you can do it and just going all in, attacking it. So for Nzingha in fencing, you talked about the sacrifice. it being challenging for you, yet satisfying at the same time. As she's gotten older, she's talked about things that she wanted to do, and I want to hear more about, where are you going from here? With fencing, you were in 2 Olympics.
Yeah. Well, so I've been to 2 Olympics. I have a world championship medal. When I was younger, I won world championships. So I've done a lot in the sport, but what I don't have is an Olympic medal. So that's why I'm still in the sport, but also because I feel like I didn't always perform to the best of my ability.
What do you think contributed to that?
Just not pushing myself the way I wanted to push myself consistently. So that's why I'm still in the sport, because I want to show myself everything I can do. And it's just been more challenging since I've gotten older, because my body has been doing this for 16 years, and it's really hard to train the way I want to. And like preparing for a competition now is so much like making sure I can move. So there's that. And then, but really most of all, what's most important is just going into the competition with the idea that I can do it, because really it's very easy to just punk out and just say, oh, wasn't my day, or oh, maybe the next time. It's really easy to do that, and I feel like I've let myself do that in the past, and I really want to be able to like confront myself and like be in my head a lot in a very positive way, and just be very encouraging to myself and like just do the best I can.
Love it. Love it. So that self-talk is key.
Yeah. It really, what's been motivating to me recently is just like personally developing as a person. So like being my fully expressive self, like speaking up when I have a thought, being articulate, and like being very verbal.
Okay,
like
so you are giving us some keys.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're just tuning in to Set Real Talk Tuesday, I have Nzingha Prescod. She is an Olympic fencer, doing amazing things, getting ready for world championships, and she's sharing some keys with us, talking about personal development. And I'm a huge, personal development is key. But, getting into your head, like you said, and, self-talk.
That's really how I've been fencing my best these days. That's how I prepare for my tournaments. I kind of pick something that that I want to do for myself, and that's really contributed to like me performing better. So something that I've been thinking of recently is like, I'll want to get my hair done like I just did, but I just like, I don't want to get up and do it, so I've really been forcing myself to do the things I want and paying attention to those things that I want, because it's not always obvious. So like I've been having time to reflect, what do I want to do? And then I like kind of analyze and assess, why aren't I doing it? And if it's because of a reason that doesn't make sense, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to go do this then.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, what do you really want to do? And like Nzingha said, sometimes it's not obvious, but think about it. What do you really want? What's prohibiting you from doing that thing that you really want to do? And then go for it.
Being honest with myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So are there any personal development tools? Are you doing audiobooks, or are you reading a book? Is there something you can share with us that, may be beneficial for us to pick up?
I do meditation. I do something called transcendental meditation, which is nice for me. I like it because you
say it again.
focus.
What kind of meditation is it?
It's called TM, Transcendental Meditation.
Okay.
And so I went to this like workshop class where they teach you for like 3 or 4 days how to do it and what the process is. And then once you do that, you can do it on your own, and you're supposed to do it 2 times a day for 20 minutes.
Okay.
But I find when I do it, which is not all the time, that's another thing. I have phases of like,
so just really briefly, what is it exactly that you're doing?
So you speak a mantra in your head, and then you can let thoughts come and go, but you're supposed to always go back to your mantra when you realize that you diverted. So it just helps you kind of clear your head and focus on one thing. But when that happens, you'll find that, well, I find that all these thoughts come and go of like things I want to do, and like it's a good reflection time, and it's not a forceful reflection. It's more like I'm relaxing, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's something I thought of, and that's something I appreciate. I like that. And then I'll go back to my mantra, so it's a nice it's literally a meditation, what it says it is.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you found that to be
That's
valuable.
something yeah. Also another thing I do for competitions is I want to feel prepared. When I feel prepared, I perform better. So I'll think about, so there's being prepared for my fencing. I'll think about my actions, what I do well, what I'm getting hit on, what I am hitting people on in my practices. I'll make sure in my practices I'm yelling and being very expressive and aggressive. And then I'll also bake something for my competition. So I'll feel prepared, or like I felt like I did something extra that
So did you
made
just say
ready.
bake something like bake?
Yeah, like I'll bake banana bread, or I'll make like energy bars. Something that's beneficial to me in the competition, but it also is like a therapeutic, like I'm registering that I have a competition coming and I want to do well. So I'm doing everything I can to put myself in that position.
So that's interesting. So you're thinking about those things as you're baking.
Well, yeah, but it's not really in the process of baking, but it's that I took the time to bake. I was aware that I'm going to need food in this competition. I'm going to want to snack on something, and I like this snack. This will give me like positive energy, and I made it, and it tastes good, and it's just reinforcing positive vibes on my competition. So that's baked, yeah.
Okay, so for you it's baking. For someone else it might be, taking some time to go to the beach or just stepping
Yeah.
away from whatever the stressful situation is.
Yeah, exactly. And being very deliberate about it. Like, this is why I'm doing this, because I want to do well here.
It's a stress relief and I'm
Yeah.
taking the time for myself.
Yes. It's a
Got
self-care. Yeah.
it. Okay. So guys, if you're just tuning in for Set Real Talk Tuesday, we have Nzingha Prescod. She's an Olympic fencer sharing with us this evening, just getting real with us, like we do on Set Real Talk Tuesday. So we got to see, some parts of you that I was shocked to see. Pretty amazing. And a body issue.
Yes.
Yes. What made you decide to do the body issue?
Yeah. The body issue was really fun. I was really excited when I found out that I was chosen. It's just a legendary, like, solidifying opportunity. I don't know. It's kind of like it's such a huge thing. And they pick such like well-known athletes, and like it's so well regarded, and so it was really, I was honored to be chosen to do it. But besides that, I was just excited to have something that I can look back to in 20 years from now and remember, like, oh, I looked like that, and like I put in all that work to have that body, and this was my tool to get me where I was in fencing, and like this was what made me my body. So, and I mean, it's so artistic. It's such in good taste. I think it's like a good combination of like sexy and like very strong. I think I was very me in it, and it's just such a nice token, such a nice memory for me to have. So yeah, I
So, guys,
love.
if you're unfamiliar with what we're talking about, Nzingha did the Sports Illustrated body issue. And so she's just talking about how, I'm sorry, it's ESPN.
ESPN.
ESPN's body issue. And so she's just telling us how, for her, it was amazing to be chosen, but also to have something that you could look back on and say, this is how my body was.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, I totally take it for granted right now, but I mean, I had a hip surgery last year, and like when I wasn't doing anything active for a really long time. I couldn't walk for 8 weeks. And I mean, my body looked so much different. And when I look at pictures after my hip surgery, I'm like, like that was different. You know what I mean? So even just like in a couple months, your body can change. And I don't know, I take for granted that I have this profession where, you know, my body is in the best shape it can be to be the best.
Well, look,
so
guys, we can relate to that. Just a week or two of extra carbs and garbage will have you looking a little different than, you know, when you're on your P's and Q's in tip-top shape.
yeah, I mean, even for me, some, you know, same thing here, but it's so easy to gain that and so hard to lose it.
Oh, for sure. But, you know, some of us, so here's another key, you guys, if you're watching, ladies, take some time, get some tasteful shots of you taken, because you don't want to look back and be like telling your kids, you know, there was a time when I looked like. You'll have images.
Right. And very tasteful images. So
Yes,
I'm going to do that in my house one day.
I love it. Love it, love it. So being able to be a part of ESPN's Body Issue for you was huge, and it was, you know, empowering. Just looking at your images, I'm like, so strong, amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know, I don't realize a lot of the time. A lot of time I'm running around, you know, going from here, going to there, and it's so hard to take a moment to like realize the great things you've done and like where you are in life and how much you've accomplished. And so that's what it is also. It reminds me that like, wow, I achieved this. ESPN Body Issue wanted to document it, and I look amazing, you know? So
Sure.
thanks.
You know, sometimes we get caught up in where we are and where we want to be, and don't take the time to reflect on what we've done and how far we've come.
Yeah.
So for you to say that, I mean, you have done some amazing things, 2 Olympics, you know, Body Issue, of course, and, you know, preparing for world championships, joining us here at SET. Thank you. And taking the time, you know, for yourself to reflect and just figure out where you're going.
Yeah.
You know, from now, you know, now looking forward, I know the goal is Tokyo.
Yes.
2020 Olympics.
Yes.
You got a world championship coming up.
Yes.
What is your schedule looking like? You're taking, you know, time to fence here and there.
Yeah, no, not here and there. It's all the time. It's been challenging this year. I've had a lot of injuries that I'm dealing with. So I haven't been fencing as much as I like, but there's always something fencing related that I'm doing. So like I'll do my physical therapy exercises and work out if I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Or if I'm gonna be at the fencing gym and I like my knees bother me, I'll do target practice and watch video or something like that. So
Got it.
it's
Are there
always
any songs that you listen to that get you hyped?
what did you
Are there any
say?
songs? Are there any songs that you listen to?
I mean, it's always changing what's motivating me, but what makes me fence well is when I'm having fun, and I listen to like reggae and soca music because I don't know, it reminds me of good times with my sister, and my friends in Brooklyn. So it's just upbeat and happy, and it just when you're happy you fence well. So there's that. I also listen to like old school R&B. Yeah.
Okay, so like what? What old school R&B?
Aaliyah's Pandora.
Yes, we can
Yeah, they
vibe to
have good
Aaliyah,
jam.
right? Old school R&B for sure. So preparing for the World Championships, Tokyo on your mind, 2020. If we want to follow you, where can we go? So on Instagram, guys, to keep up with what Nzingha is doing, you will go to Nzingha. So NZINGHAP. So at NZINGHAP. So Nzingha P. And you don't do Twitter.
No.
Not so much. And
it
then
exists, but I haven't been on it.
So she is on Facebook though, Nzingha Prescod. So that's NZINGHA Prescod
Yes, we got
on
it.
Facebook. So follow her. Let's keep up with her as she's preparing for the World Championships and then the Olympics. Now, for those that are watching, if you have a young child that you may want to say, you know what, let's introduce them to fencing. They would go to the usfencing.org, find the fencing club near them.
Find a club. There'll be an option on the website to find a club near you, and you probably do something like type in your zip code, and it'll populate a list of clubs that you could go to if you wanted to get involved with fencing.
So, but one thing we need to take into consideration that all clubs are not created equal, as with any sport. So if you're thinking about taking this all the way to the Olympics, you might want to have somebody who is, qualified.
Yeah, you'd have to do more research. And I would say talk to people and figure out who their past students have been, what kind of students they've groomed, and what are their credentials to be black.
Got it?
Yeah.
So fencing. Never thought about it. I learned so much just in talking to Nzingha, prior to us going live for you guys. I didn't know that there was different types of fencing and, so I learned a lot. Will you just share quickly for those that have no idea about the sport, maybe the 3 types of fencing and what you do specifically?
Yeah, so there are 3 weapons in fencing: foil, epee, and saber. I fence foil. And the difference between them, they're all different disciplines, so there's different rules about how you can score a touch. In epee, it's the most simple. It's who hits first. So it's most intuitive. And then foil and saber, there's rules about who gets the touch. So just because you hit first doesn't mean you get the touch. It's dictated by who's the aggressor in the action, and the referee determines that. So it's kind of a subjective sport in some ways, but I mean, you train according to the rules and, what's trending, like, in terms of what referees are calling. So, yeah.
It's learned something, guys. Teaching us about the sport of fencing. Who knew?
Anytime.
Okay, so Nzingha, in your spare time, are you dating?
Oh, yes, I have a boyfriend. He lives with me.
Okay. Has a boyfriend, lives with her. Okay, guys. Who knew?
Yeah.
Love it. So
we celebrated 3 years 2 days ago. Actually, we didn't celebrate, but it was 3 years, like 2 days ago.
Nice. Okay. Well, congrats to you guys. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. So was he excited about your body issue as you were?
Oh, no. I mean, eventually, I think he understands how momentous it is, so he appreciates it. But I mean, there's also a part of him that doesn't vibe with it. So I mean,
but it's not like you were spread eagle.
No, not at all. I would never want that. So he's come to terms with it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Tell him, that we appreciated you sharing.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Yes, well, we are looking forward to keeping up with you. Thanks. Guys, follow Nzingha. This fencing, we're just talking about, diversity in sports. Yes. And how representation matters. We're seeing all the movements that are going on, and we love it. It's a great time. The future for females is now. I mean, now's the time.
Yes. I mean, going off of Black Panther too, just to see, I mean, even after we all know representation is important. Mm-hmm. And then once you see Black Panther, you really understand why it's so important. Because, like, how could you have never seen a movie where every character is Black and every character is Black and in power, has power, and is running the show? Like, you never see that. And it just triggers a feeling in you that, like, I'm in power. Like, I can do that. I can run the show. How has there never been a movie like that where Black people are running it and you feel you feel that kind of like power. Like that's like it's been stolen from us, I feel.
Absolutely.
So
Guys, I mean, I can hear Nzingha's passion. Can you hear that? Can you feel that? Like, come on, comment. Let us know that you are with us. I mean, you've got to agree that it's past time for us to see that kind of representation on film. And I'm so glad that we have come out in droves, $1 billion
yeah,
on Black Panther. I mean, kudos. Ryan Coogler, entire cast. I mean, I had goose. It was amazing watching it.
it was. It was lots of feels.
So for us to watch you, you have a culture behind you, lots of feels for
Yeah.
you. So we
Yeah.
will be cheering you on.
Thank you.
I've not been into fencing, but am totally going to be into it just because I saw you.
Oh yeah. And I hope get involved with it too. I hope people get involved with it off of this too. It's a great sport. You travel the world with it. You meet amazing people. Like I've been to the White House like 3 times through fencing. I went to
So would you go
Columbia.
now? Would you be going to the White House now?
Oh no.
Just had to ask.
When the Obamas were there. No.
So guys, we want you to share this. Share it on your wall, on your timeline on Facebook. We're also going to be on YouTube. We want you to share this video because there might be a young person that needs to know that fencing is an option.
It's an option.
Yeah.
It is. Especially if you're in New York. New York is a huge hub for fencing. So if anyone is anywhere close to the tri-state area, it's a sport that you can get involved with. And there's lots of places and clubs that have high level coaching and facilities where you could really take it to like a high level. So
And speaking of lots of places and clubs, where are you teaching fencing on Saturdays?
I teach at the Peter Westbrook Foundation, which is where I started. It's on West 28th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue on the second floor. If you Google Peter Westbrook Foundation, you'll find out more details about it.
So you guys got that? Set Real Talk, Nzingha Prescod joining us. So, Nzingha, have you gotten out to see A Wrinkle in Time yet?
No, not yet.
So we're going to get out. I haven't either. But we're going to get out and check out A Wrinkle in Time just because of support.
Yeah, of course. I'm
right?
excited. No, I've been talking about it. I'm going to see it.
Okay, good. So then, we might do a little, have you get on Twitter, have a Twitter party and talk about A Wrinkle in Time, or maybe I could just hit you on Instagram and you tell us what you thought.
Yeah, Instagram.
All right, well, we will do that. Guys, without, keeping you any longer, Nzingha, thank you for joining us. I had a pleasure talking to you tonight.
Same here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and we're going to have you come on at a later time, maybe, after the Olympics or from Tokyo, who knows?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yes. So guys, we're going to wrap up here tonight, but we will see you at the same place, same time for Set Real Talk Tuesday. I'm Danisha Roll and I'm set.
I'm Nzingha and I'm set.
All right, guys. Good night.
Bye.